led by Premier Sihle Zikalala, is working with the family of late rugby player Lindani Myeni to repatriate his remains from the U.S. state of Hawaii. Plans to repatriate the remains of the slain rugby player back to South Africa are gaining momentum following interactions between the KZN Office of the Premier, the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, and the Consul-General in the U.S. For more on this story, we're joined via Zoom by the Premier, Mr. Sihle Zikalala. A very good morning to you, Premier Zikalala. Thanks for making the time.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for having us in your program.
Take us into why the provincial government got involved in the repatriation process of Lindani Myeni's body.
Well, firstly, we have been concerned about the whole situation, and we wish to express our condolences to the family and all relatives for such an incident and such loss. We do believe that the matter is requiring some serious attention given the manner in which he was killed, and it is not yet clear on why he was killed, and we believe that the U.S. government owes the world an explanation on why Mr. Myeni was killed. But attached to that, we have been engaged by the family, his mother, requesting us to support them in ensuring that his body is repatriated to South Africa. Since then, we worked with our national government, especially the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, and our ambassador in United States, Her Excellency Ambassador Noma India Mfegecho, and we are in touch with his wife that side to ensure that preparations for his repatriation are undertaken. Our role here is to assist to make it easy for logistical arrangement that his body is brought home and he be given a dignified funeral and send-off.
We were speaking to his wife yesterday, and she indicated that although government has been in touch and conversation is at an advanced level, there has been no talk about who will carry the cost of repatriating the body. What detail have you got for us there?
Well, it is a matter that the family here, Myeni's family in KwaZulu-Natal, were raising with us yesterday, and we said we will consider that as a whole issue, one of the issues that we have to take into cognizance, and we will be discussing that with relevant authorities, ourselves as government, the national government and the embassy, but also to see whether in the associations of sports, especially rugby, whether we cannot collaborate in this regard.
So there's no final response?
While there is no final response, we can guarantee that we will make all means available at our disposal to ensure that his body is repatriated back home. The issue of cost is part of logistical matters that we as the provincial government will be discussing with the national government.
The other conversation we had with her was about the non-definite dates. What is the hold-up? Is it the South African side or the American side?
Well, I don't think that we can say there is a side that have been reluctant, but it has been a delay in terms of proper coordination. And that's why yesterday we delegated the Director General from the Premier's office, who is the head of administration in the province, to go and meet with the family, which she did, and were grateful to the way and the manner in which the family received her. And since then, we are now working on logistical arrangement, taking a stock of who must do what and ensure that his body is repatriated soon.
Are you able to give us a breakdown of the role of the provincial government as against the role of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation and the Consul-General in the U.S.? What are your separate responsibilities in this process?
Well, for now, our separate responsibilities is that we in the province are liaising with the family here in Esikhaweni, supporting them morally, supporting them with whatever we can to ensure that they go through preparations for this. We are also in touch with Consul-General in Hawaii, in the US, to ensure that they liaise with his wife, Mr. Myeni's wife, in US. Liaise and ensure that preparations are done. During the day, we will be able to come up with definite process, the date, and then be able to work out logistical arrangement and cost, who's going to bear cost at what responsibility, assign relevant authorities to that, and ensure that is brought back home.
Premier, I don't know if you were able to see the conversation, but Lindsay is really grateful to the support that the provincial government has given her, her kids, and the extended family. But what kind of conversations are being held with US authorities about what really happened on that day?
We will be taking up that matter because it is not clear. We are engaging with the U.S. authorities through our Consul-General, Ms. Thandi Sunduza. We are working on dealing with that matter, raising our grievances with them. But we will also be looking on the embassy in South Africa, the U.S. embassy, to assist in taking this matter because it must be followed. It cannot be that United States police are allowed that they can kill Africans or black people in any way they like. And I think this is high time that we as South Africa, because of number of our people who are in that part of the world, we will need to take up this matter strongly.
Of course, at this moment, you're supporting the family in terms of the repatriation. What kind of support do you envisage you're going to give in terms of the unfolding process seeking justice?
Firstly, we believe that we will be discussing this matter with authorities in South Africa, the national government, and see whether we cannot establish a formal engagement on the matter so that they will be able to account and tell us what happened. But we also look on various organizations, civil society, to take up such issues because they are critical to ensure that we conscientize people about the role that we must play in fighting racism. The question of African or Black Lives Matters is still relevant, and that campaign still needs to be advanced.
Do you have a definite date in terms of the repatriation process or the repatriation day?
We will announce that maybe tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Premier, while we have you here, of course, conversation continuing about vaccination in the country, the slow pace thereof. Do you have any update for us in terms of the KZN situations, the status quo?
Well, since the Johnson & Johnson was put in abeyance, we are now waiting for the arrival of the second vaccine that will then be distributed to all vaccinating centers and ensure that we start the process again. But we're guided also by the national department in terms of the engagement they are going through about whether they will start again using J&J or not. So for now, we are waiting at that level. We're happy with the response from healthcare workers who have come up and taken the vaccine. And we're grateful that there is no incident that have been reported so far.
At your level, how do you feel about the concerns that there isn't sufficient transparency in the process of the rollout?
Well, in our level, we have been transparent enough. We are receiving doses from national, they are calculated. We distribute them accordingly to all healthcare facilities that are vaccinating centers. We are able to account transparently to all citizens of the province. What is happening nationally, we believe that the minister is dealing with issues and is trying to ensure that the process is open and transparent to all South Africans.
So, of course, the nation today reacting to the announcement last night by the presidency that October 27th is the date for local government elections. How prepared is the KwaZulu-Natal province, especially in relation to by-elections that took place yesterday? How was that process for the province?
The by-elections were a precursor for the local government, and they gave us a clear a scenario on what will happen going to the local government. And I can say that though we will be expecting volumes and high turnout of people during the local government elections than the by-elections, but the manner in which they were managed and they were conducted throughout, it showed that we are ready to have by-elections. If we will not be disrupted by the third wave, definitely October 27 will go smooth.
Premier, just on a party ticket, how is the African National Congress in KwaZulu-Natal responding to the announcement that former President Jacob Zuma will no longer be having legal assistance in his corruption trial, and what the impacts of this announcement?
Well, that is a bit of a challenge because from the announcement that happened yesterday, we haven't had time to engage with former President Jacob Zuma on the matter. But we are with him and we will be listening on what happened, or he is changing legal representatives, or what will be the process going forward. We would want to be clear that the ANC took a deliberate decision that we are going to cooperate and support him where we need to support him in these issues.
Let's thank you again for talking to us today, Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, and thanks for the engagement, and thanks to the viewers of your program. Thanks.